Let's talk about the songs and the music. This show is so much fun to play for a guitar player. Lots of great parts, challenging, but a lot of fun parts. I'm going to start off with a sound check.
Yep. Right.
This is the first time I brought my Washburn Casco, my lunch string in. So we're sound checking it. And you can see I'm talking to the audio team, and they're also giving me some directions. More treble, less this, play this song, play that song, hit it hard, don't hit it hard.
Yeah.
To me this sounds very acoustic, and I really liked it. And this is not what went into the show.
Yeah.
After working with the audio team and getting it into the show, then we fine-tuned with the sound designer, Peter Hylinski. And what we ended up with...
Nice.
What we ended up with was something more nasally and more mid-rangey, and that helped cut through the mix. Not so good for my in-ears, but for the house, really good. So I'm going to give you a tip. Here's a tip that really helps me, and I use it for all my shows. To really make a acoustic guitar translate, you have to play it like an acoustic guitar. So sometimes, let me grab one. Sometimes when it's too loud in your in-ears, in your monitors, and you hear it great, you actually strike it lighter. And this is not how we play an acoustic guitar. We don't hit it too hard, but we strike the thing and it speaks. And that translates into how an acoustic guitar throws out sound. Nobody really plays, unless it's for a specific part. It's in general, we're like just letting the sound throw out and letting the guitar do the work. So my tip is I basically took a lot of the acoustic guitar out of my mix. I hardly heard it. I listened to my guitar with my sound tool because it was loud enough. I could hear it in front of me, even with in-ears, and that was the ticket. It sounded like an acoustic guitar, and the house sounded like the house. Remember, I'm making my world heaven, and whatever the house is, that's theirs to do with what they want. All right? So there's a tip. Musically, once again, it's such a fun show, and here is Benoit Jutras. He is the composer. He's done a bunch of other shows, not doing some stuff with Disney, I think, but he did the O Show, the Mystere Show, one of the original Cirque du Soleil composers. Le Reve is not a Cirque du Soleil show. It had Franco Dragone from Cirque du Soleil after he left, and Benoit Jutras left and made this show with Steve Wynn and the Wind. So it's very Cirque du Soleil-like, but it's not a Cirque du Soleil show, and it seems more up-tempo, more rock and roll. Which was great for me. But here's Tyler Williams, RMD. Love working with Benoit and working with any composer, but Benoit especially, I started really understanding what he wanted out of the guitar. On the last iteration of the show, I would make my own guitar parts up, and then when I fine-tuned them, I would get them approved by him, and we'd move forward from there. So this is Tango. You just heard me sound checking this. You'll also notice that you're going to hear some delay because everything's happening in real time in your ears, but the house is a little later than what you play. It's the hard part that just came out of nowhere. Not really the hardest thing to play, but execute in time right away and not make a mistake every night. That's hard. And here. And you can really hear that delay there. And so you need your in-ears in. You need your in-ears to stay in time. Sometimes I've actually had my ears go out because of the preamp, or one they fell out. I had an older version that broke, and you cannot play the show. Speaking of working with the composer, he made a new version of this song that we have, Winter, and I got to make my own guitar part up for this. And then we had another rehearsal where he asked for there to be a little guitar fill solo in there. So this is us rehearsing there. And this is a rehearsal. I would film myself in rehearsals, or often the first time we would present a part, or even to audit myself and hear how I was doing. And I wish I kept a lot of these videos, because I would just make sure I was playing it the way I wanted, getting the tone I wanted, or checking out how good or bad the solo was. Then I'd throw them away. So I'm glad I found some of these. That was Winter. This is Be My Light. Using Music Man Luke here. Notice I'm just waiting, you stay in time. There's a click track going. Live and die by that click. Power chords. And this show had a lot of power chords, and like all professionals, if you have to play a power chord, you play it like it's going to be the last power chord you have to play. There's an attitude you can put behind that power chord. Rockers never get that wrong. Whether it's Joan Jett or a punk rocker or Steve Vai, when you play that power chord, you play it. This is the net solo. And here's another Nets, the same solo. I'm using my Washburn NX6. Love this guitar. Some whammy bar magic using my Sir. This is the new music for Nets. Had to come up with a run. There's a song called Red Man, and there's a riff where the composer wrote basically a power chord section and a melody section, all with distortion. And both parts are fairly easy. If I don't play a part, then they would record me, and that would be part of Ableton, and you would hear it as well. You get both parts. You have to give the composer what he wants. In this case, I was able to put both parts together. And this was a lot of fun. you try to get away with these pick squeals and guitar stuff, and most of the time, if it fits, they keep it. And that was a lot of fun. The big solo I had every night was the splash solo in a song called Splash. I began the whole video with that. I wish I had more of those. My crazy family, when they would see the show, they would film from the audience and film and stick a camera on me in my taco stand, and then I never had the idea of putting them together. And if I find more, I'm posting them, but that was fun. But here's some ideas of the splash solo. Let's see. Here's a splash solo using the Lukather guitar, the Luke from Music Man. Whatever I could do to keep that note going and not die, shaking, pick scratching, that's what I needed to do. And to give you an idea, this is what it looked on stage. And you can hear me in the house here. Need to watch for the fall. And the MD would count us off. That ended, and we'd play it. Here's another one. So this is all leading up. Man, the athleticism. One of the newer versions of this song. Remember, the show constantly changes, the songs change, sometimes completely written out. So if you notice there's the effect from the helix. I'm doing like a whammy pedal. Other foot's above the helix to hit a patch. Both feet off the ground. Hit a patch. Waiting for the MD to count us in here. But I also had fun. Check this out. This was coming into 2020. So once again, it's New Year's Eve, 2019, Auld Lang Syne. Touch on it, break away. Man, I was so excited this year when I got the Solar guitar. This is the first night I took a solo with it before I really got it set up, just fresh back from NAMM and literally playing it on a Sunday night. And we closed the show. The last night of shows that we played was March 2nd, so I played it until then. I was really excited about where I could take this guitar within the show. And if you haven't tried them out, these Anatomy of Sound guitar picks are the bomb for me, for shredding. And here I'm having some fun. It's our head audio technician, JT. He's awesome. I'm messing.
Testing 1, testing 2. Stand by for liftoff.
There's really no reason for me to speak. I'm just messing with everybody. And wait. I'm wearing jeans, so this is a rehearsal.
Yeah, I'm good with that. Yeah, I'm good with that.